visit voidsignal.net. I just redesigned it, and it looks much better. You can find a link to the Void Signal Patreon over there.
Oh, damn. No, yeah, this looks freaking great.
Thank you. And I got the new logo on there, too.
Dude, sick. Yeah, no, the rain, it's all smooth as hell. Can you just make my website for me?
Yeah, I could. I could.
This looks way better than my website.
Thanks, Sam.
Except I'm noticing a lack of my name.
It is on there. If you scroll down under listen, you see over there on the right side, I got you listed, buddy, underneath health and boo blacks and all that other stuff. Sam Tar.
I was looking for that. I'm like, he's got all these big names, but where is the small me?
Oh, you're in there, buddy.
Then also, I see me. Okay.
Yeah. Number 1 in the hearts and in the charts. But, yeah, it's a great way to support the creation of more ad-free Void Signal is sign up for the Void Signal Patreon, and you can come hang out on the Void Signal Discord server.
Brian, I'm sorry. I'm not recording both of us.
That's fine. I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
I was like, oh, fuck, he's doing it. He sounds so good.
No, it's totally fine. I got it covered. Don't worry. I'm accounting for your shortcomings. Anyway, yeah, I guess go support more Void Signal, I guess. And thanks for listening. On behalf of me and my friend Sam.
Yeah, man. What Brian does here is really pretty special, and he's got a really nice little community here.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
All right, man.
Take care. Happy holidays from me and the gang.
Happy holidays.
Yes, I think I can hear you a little bit better.
Okay. All right. Okay. Are you ready? Do you need do you want to go? Do you need a drink or, bathroom, anything like that? Or
no, I mean, I have my coffee here.
Okay.
And I think I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I'm really nervous.
Okay. There's no need to be nervous. It's just us hanging out, bullshitting, really. So, no need to be nervous. I don't usually do intros to the show just because, it just starts and I feel like it's a little more natural. But in this case, I did want to just sort of introduce kind of who you are a little bit. So, and I apologize. I feel like I'm definitely going to butcher your name because I've only seen it online. But is it Yessé? Is that the correct pronunciation?
No, it's Yessé.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. I apologize. I want to do at least make an attempt at it. But so I discovered you on Instagram. I think it was because I had Ginger Khan on, and you've had drawn some artwork of him. But you're an artist, and that's kind of why you caught my eye. How long have you been making artwork? And in particular, the other thing I wanted to shout out is that on your Instagram profile, you described it says music for your eyes, and I love that. I love the idea of anyway, I was so excited to have you on and talk about how you got into art and what drew you to it.
Okay, we have an issue. I have a little issue.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Brian, I have an issue.
Okay.
Because I can hear you, but it sounded like I missed a little bit of what you said. I got the idea, so I think I can talk a little bit about that. But
okay, hold on one second.
Just so you know that I can sort of.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Let me take a look at. Is it kind of cutting out, in and out?
Yes, and I'm not sure if it's on my side or on your side, because here the internet in Venezuela is really bad, so it could be that.
Okay, that might be a part of it. So give me just a second. I'm gonna lower the bit rate on the channel, and we'll see if that helps a little bit. And let me do a different region. One sec. Does that sound any better?
It sounds better. I hope that it works.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, we will try this. Okay, so long as you can kind of hear most of what I said, but yeah, I would love to know sort of what got you into making art. How did you arrive at wanting to create?
So the thing is, I started drawing when I was a kid, at a really, really young age. And And I don't know, I started drawing mostly because I'm an only child. And I guess I just didn't have a lot to do besides like watching cartoons at home and maybe playing with my mom and stuff. And so I just started drawing. And I mean, it was mostly for fun. I guess I always knew that I wanted to create things for bands because I started, when I first started listening to music, I became obsessed with it. And it was like my favorite thing to do, to listen to music. So I kind of wanted to mix those two things together, the music and the drawing, the artworks. But I didn't know that there was a job for that because I was, super young and whatever.
Sure.
And I don't know why. I think eventually I just started to become more aware about, band merch and like t-shirts and stuff like that, and then posters. And I was like, this is really cool. This is what I want to do. And it was just a progression because I started drawing really young. And I think when I was around 14, I started drawing people, like portraits. And that led into drawing bands and like band members. And then, everything started to go to like move towards that direction. So yeah, it was always very natural. I feel like I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to call it and how to name it. And then eventually when I was just about to graduate high school, somebody said, like in my class, oh, there's this thing called graphic design. And I was like, what is that? And I started to research about graphic design a little bit more. And we are, even though I feel like what I do nowadays is a little bit closer to illustration. It's a mixture between illustration and graphic design.
Pretend I'm ignorant. You may not have to pretend, but what is the distinction between illustration and graphic design?
Illustration is basically more about drawing things, usually by hand. It could be, if you use illustrators, it could be vectors, but mostly like by hand, and you're drawing things. Graphic design could be just like photo editing, and you're creating t-shirts using photos, using text, using different design elements, color, text, photos, and illustration as well. But then illustration is more like just drawing things by hand. And since I like drawing more, then, you could say that almost everything that I do are illustrations.
Gotcha. Okay. And I do have to just shout out, and I will include a link to your Instagram profile on the episode description and everything. But your avatar poster turned out so amazing, so impressive. And I've just been very impressed with sort of everything that you've been, putting out and making. Is this what you want to do as a career? Is this like what you want your future to be, kind of a thing?
Yeah. This is what I want to do as a job, like as a full-time job. Yes, and it's basically what I'm trying to get at, to like turn this into my full-time job. But yeah, and thank you for what you said about the avatar poster, because that thing took a very long time to do. I think
it looks like it did. Like, honestly, when I looked at it, I was like, this took fucking ages.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, that was, I think, the third poster I ever did. The third one.
Wow.
Yeah, because before that, I did two inspired by Greta Van Fleet, because at the time I was like a really big Greta Van Fleet fan. And I think that is the third one, that I ever did. And I just wanted to try and do something different, a little bit more challenging. And I think it worked out. It just took a really long time to work out.
Yeah, for sure. How long have you been pursuing this? Like, I mean, you said you got into drawing at a young age, but what made you really go start putting your stuff online, and really like putting yourself out there as like, hey, I'm doing freelance artwork? Okay,
so the story goes like this. I started posting my fan art, because at the beginning it was fan art.
Sure.
When I was, I think 13 or 14, when Instagram was like completely different from what it is now.
Right.
And I started posting that. I started gaining a following from that, mostly just people who were like really into the bands that I was drawing. After that, I graduated from high school and I went to college. That didn't work out. I was only in college for like one semester,
Right.
and then I left. And then I spent like 2 years studying on my own and like figuring out how to do not only like how to do t-shirts and illustrations and like posters and all of that, but how to do the business side of it as well, because I didn't know anything
Sure.
about how to be a freelancer and how to make that work.
Right.
So I spent basically, let me think, 2019 and 2020 studying. In 2020, I actually got my first client.
Okay.
Yes, and it was super cool. It was also a poster. I got my first client, and then it was really sad because he was going to do like a tour. It was like a short tour. And then the COVID started, the pandemic. And everything sort of went downhill from there because, you know, everything just stopped.
Sure.
And we all had to stay home and like do nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. After that, I mean, I did wait. Yes, I mean, 2020, I did get a few clients. I did like that poster. I did 2 or 3 t-shirt designs, and that was it. And then COVID just sort of, you know, messed up everything.
Sure.
So I would say, I mean, since 2020, I've been working. So yeah, since 2020, it's been, you know, on and off, working on and off.
Sure. Gotcha. So you are, the only reason I ask is because I realized that this was a thing you were relatively still new to, and that it was, you know, just interesting to sort of hear where you're at, as, what is the word I'm looking for here? As somebody kind of just starting out and kind of trying to find your way in this. Do you think that because music drew you to want to do this, do you think that it helps inform your artistic style? Does that make sense?
I think the music that I like definitely influences my style. But it's not just music, you know, it's movies. Because I take a lot of inspiration from comics and also movies and series and also music. So it's not just music, but I would say that, yes, it definitely has an impact on the kind of stuff that I draw.
Gotcha.
Overall, I really enjoy to draw portraits. And I feel like, you know, if you look at, I don't know, let's say like the classic, the average, like metal band t-shirts, you see mostly like skulls and bones and monsters and things like that. And that's great. And I also love to do that, but I prefer to draw portraits. Gotcha. So maybe, you know, it does influence a little bit, but it's not completely related.
Sure. Gotcha. Okay. And are there artists in particular that you've that really helped kind of influence your direction, or ones that you like kind of look up to or have taken a great inspiration from?
You mean like other artists or other illustrators?
Yeah, other illustrators, other artists, just any sort of visual artist that might have like helped inform kind of the things you want to do. Does that make sense?
Yes, because remember that I had to study this whole thing and to learn to do this by like on my own,
right,
by watching other people. And so, yes, I mean, Ken Taylor, I don't know if you know who Ken Taylor is.
I do not.
He is an amazing illustrator from Australia. And he is, in my opinion, he's the best.
Okay.
He does mostly like show posters. I'm not sure if he does like t-shirts and stuff like that. I know he does show posters and like skateboards, designs, stuff like that. He's really cool. Luke Priest, he is from England. He also does posters and stuff like that, t-shirts. He has done work for Metallica, Lamb of God, Sleep Token, you know.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Well, there's another artist I really like the way he uses color. His name is Scott Buon. I think he's American actually. He mostly does comics, I think, but he has also done posters for bands, and I'm not sure if like merchandise, but posters definitely. Yeah, I think those are my top 3.
Gotcha. Okay.
I would say they are amazing. You should definitely check them out.
I'm going to, and I don't mean to like put you on the spot about this or anything. I just like it's this is a thing I don't know anything about. So to sort of pick your brain of like who else in this sort of space is like doing things that are exciting and interesting. You know, does that make sense? Of like, I'm a tourist here, so I'm sort of like trying to. You're looking for you to guide me of like what's worth looking at, kind of a thing.
Oh my God, Ken Taylor to me is the best, the absolute best.
Okay.
If you like work that is realistic, detailed, and just stunning to look at, because it is amazing.
Okay. And okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that answer. Like, and very comprehensive. So what, aside from pursuing the graphic design dream, what does your future look like? Are there other things that you want to try and do and accomplish as an artist? Do you intend to branch out from doing just illustrations and drawing, or what else is out there for you?
You know, that something I've been thinking about lately, mostly because everybody, like all my friends and people that I've known throughout the years, have always told me that I should learn to tattoo, to do tattoos. And I'm not sure. I've always been scared about it because I am not a huge fan of, I don't know, like being, so close to people all the time. And what if you mess up?
Sure.
And then, it's scary. It's a little bit scary, but it's something that I've been thinking about because, I don't know, when everybody, like literally everybody around you tells you that you should try that, it's kind of weird. It's like, why does everybody say that? Maybe I should give it a try. Right. Maybe.
I mean, I could see your artwork lending itself very easily to tattoos, like big thick lines and great colors, and I could see it. Like, that makes sense. But I do hear you on the like, ooh, I got to be like up real close in somebody's business all day. Like,
yeah,
I don't know how stoked about that I'd be.
The thing is, when you get used to drawing in your home, comfy, in your pajamas, like on a tablet, it's so easy and it's so comfortable. Especially when I started drawing digitally, it's so easy. Like, I mean, easy in like talking about if you mess up, you can fix it. If you're like in the middle of drawing something and you don't like it, you can change it quite easily. It's not the same when you're working traditionally. So to go from that to have to, tattoo somebody, right. I don't know, it's a different thing. I think it could be interesting. I think it could work out.
Right.
And it's something that I'm thinking about. I just need to, learn more about it, buy the stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Tattooing a person, nonetheless, like tattooing a person comes with like, I've known people who have apprenticed to do tattooing, and I hung around a lot of tattoo shops in my youth. You have to adjust to like holding it. Like, tattoo guns can be heavy. So like, there's wear and tear on your wrist. Nonetheless, you're trying to, you can't really make a mistake. You can, but I mean, we don't want to.
There's not a lot of room for error, I would say.
Yeah, not a lot of room for error. And the canvas can move and breathe and cough and like.
Yeah, the canvas can move a lot.
Yeah,
which is scary.
Yeah,
like people jump. I've seen them, and it's like, what?
Yeah, not great. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I don't blame you either. Especially like the idea of like draw. I can't draw, but like I would imagine being able to grab my tablet and draw on it while I'm like sitting on a couch or something sounds awesome. Or being able to just like go out to like a coffee shop and be able to do it and work on it. Like, that sounds great. Versus trying to smell somebody while you're tattooing.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah, it is. So aside from not doing tattooing from the from
No,
the sound
it's
of
a possibility.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually thinking about it. I just have a lot of noise in my head saying like, Yessé, do you really want to do that?
That's fair. That's fair. But are there, so aside from that, is there anything else that you're just sort of like thinking about giving a try, or that you want to do?
Do you mean like that's related to art in general?
Or just a thing that you want to do? I mean, like, this isn't necessarily just about your art. I mean, it's about you as a person. So what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to try and do?
You know, something that I love. I remember as a kid, this has to do with art because like everything that's related with the things that I like to do or want to do are related to art and music in a way. But when I was a kid, I was really into video games. And I remember like I really wanted to create characters and create like bases for the video game. So that's something, I mean, it just sounds like something I would do from like it sounds like something that I just say from a different universe would do.
Sure.
You know, it doesn't sound like something I would do right now. But I think having the chance to do illustrations, or like not illustrations, but like character designs and environmental designs for video games would be amazing. Also comics, I really like comics. I was actually going to draw a comic when I was in high school with a friend of mine. And then I realized that drawing comics is horrible. Drawing comics is really difficult.
Why? What makes it so difficult?
Because the thing is, when you do illustrations, like you have the option to become really good at one thing or multiple things, but it's like, oh, you can draw portraits, or you can draw animals, or you can draw landscapes, but you don't necessarily have to draw all of it. You know what I mean? There's people who only draw portraits, or who only draw, you know, very specific kind of plants. You know, you can get like very specific with the kind of stuff that you draw. But when it comes to comics, you have to draw pretty much everything. You have to know your thing. You need to know perspective. You need to know how to draw environment, landscapes, bodies, everything, animals, objects. Like it's difficult. And I don't know, at the time I was drawing traditionally, which is even more difficult when you're drawing digitally. It's a little bit easier. And yeah, it was not good. I was not good at anatomy or anything. So I think at the time, it was like this really big task for somebody who didn't have the skills to do so. Because that was a long time ago. It was, I don't know, in 2014, maybe.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I don't know. It was... It was so funny because we had so many ideas and we were so excited. He was writing the comic and I was supposed to draw it. But yeah, we just kind of reached a point when we were like, no way, this is not going to happen. This is too difficult.
Yeah. I mean, there's you know, I was really big into comic books when I was young. And there's like a famous artist, I forget his name, but he's like famous for like how fucking shitty his like bodies and torsos are. Like he drew a Captain America that was just like mostly like pectoral muscle, just like really like fucked up wonky ass perspectives of like no human looks like this. Like Cronenberg Captain America is like was like but like this guy worked for Marvel. Like he was like, you know, drawing and illustrating like major comic books back in the day. Fuck, I can't remember his name, but I'll have to look it up and send it to you because it's fucking ridiculous. Like,
oh my god, please do, because I need to see that.
It's so fucked up and terrible. I didn't that's an aspect of making comic books that I never thought about, is that you're just like, you are having to draw whatever the scene requires, and you know, however well you can draw it is how well it turns out.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're making a comic that is like super specific and you're only drawing those things, maybe it's a little bit easier. But in my opinion, drawing comics is very, very complicated. And also the other thing, which has to do with more with personality rather than skill, like the turnarounds for comics are pretty short, I believe. And it's like you have to draw a panel and you have to get it done and then move to the next one and then move to the next one. You can't just like go back and be like, oh, this doesn't look as good as I wanted to. I'm gonna go back and fix it. No, like you have no time. You have to do it and then move on.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like it's quite demanding. But I feel like, a lot of those artists, well, not the ones that I mentioned, maybe Scott Wan, Matt Taylor, and some other artists like those, they usually do covers for comics. So they don't draw the inside pages. They only do like a variant cover. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
It's a little bit less stressful, I think.
Yeah, it sounds less stressful. Okay, well, something else that I wanted to ask you about is it's kind of unrelated to your drawing and your visual arts and everything. You did mention that you are in Venezuela. I don't like the music scene that you're into is very is a dark music scene. I mean, that's kind of how you found Void Signal and I found you, is your interest in this, like in dark music as a that's the culture and the what you listen to. How did you end up finding that? Like, how did you get into like the dark music scene?
That's a very good question. It's always like a progression because a few years ago, I'm going to say, in 2018, I was listening to classic rock and to like mainstream metal bands, the ones that everybody knows about. And I think eventually I just became a little bored because I was listening to a lot of bands that are not around anymore. And so there's no new music coming out.
Sure.
And the thing with me is that I listen to music for the majority of the day, like every day. I listen to music a lot while I draw. And I got a little bit bored with it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to look for something else. And that I'm going to look for something else, it just has been going on for quite a few years. And eventually you just end up here. Like, the thing is, I'm going to give you an example because you asked me how I found you, and I found you because of Ginger Khan, and I found out about Ginger Khan because of Priest, and I found out about Priest because of Ghost. So it's that kind of transition. So I am a big Ghost fan. I started listening to them in 2018. And then I think last year I found out about Priest by chance. Like literally I was just listening to music and Priest just started playing, and I was like, this sounds a lot like Ghost, but it's not Ghost. What is this? And the thing with me is that when I like a band a lot, I like to research about it, and I like to learn more about them as much as possible if I really, really like the band. And so eventually I just found out about Tom being the lead singer for a while. And then everything that happened after that. And of course, because I really liked his voice and I really like his role on Priest, I was like, is he still doing music? And it turns out that he is, and he's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And so, yes. And yeah, that's how I got here. So it's like, it always starts with a more like mainstream, popular, big-ish kind of band.
Sure.
And then it continues from there. Like I find something else and I find something else.
Gotcha.
It always depends on like me liking the band enough to like research more and learn more about it.
Gotcha. And yes, agreed. I'm quite a big fan of Tom's work. And I like his new stuff. I like Udad. It's really good. Like really, I love his lyrics. I mean, all of his lyrics are just terrific. But that makes me happy. It really does bring me a lot of joy to know that, like, you know, people will, like yourself, find Void Signal through, you know, through Tom, through Ginger Khan. He's the homie. Love that guy. But okay, so like you stumbled upon Ghost, and that led you to Priest and to Tom. Is there it? Because when I think of, I don't see tours often go through Venezuela, so I guess I don't really. I'm curious to know about like the music scene there. Is it mostly just sort of this is a thing you found while operating inside of your own kind of social bubble? Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's funny because I have never been a huge fan of the music we have here. Like, I remember as a kid, my parents used to play music for me from here, and I hated it. I remember the first time that they played Queen, and I was like, wait, is there good music? I was like, no way. So I am not a big fan of Venezuelan music, not because I think it's bad, it's just not my taste.
Sure.
And so ever since I got my first laptop and I got internet and all of that when I was a child, I was like, I need to find something that I like because there is stuff out there that I like. So the Venezuelan music scene is mostly this thing called reggaeton. I don't know if you know about it.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know anything.
Okay, I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it. I don't recommend it. We also have like our variation of trap. You know trap?
No.
It's not rap, but it's trap. No?
Oh, yes, trap. Okay. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Trap. Okay, we have like our version of that. We have more like classic Venezuelan music, which is called llaneras, vallenato. That thing is it's not my taste. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be your taste. It's very different.
Okay.
It's quite different.
Gotcha.
The music scene, actually, during October, I think the first American band came here after a very, very long time. It was Machine Head.
Okay.
They came here to my city. The thing is, I was thinking about going, but I don't actually listen to Machine Head. And I just felt like I was going to be a little bit out of place.
Sure.
So I thought, I'm going to wait for the next one. But yeah, after a long time, they came here. The thing is, Venezuela has a lot of issues with the government.
Sure.
And it has a lot of, what's the name of that? I don't remember, but it has a lot of issues with the U.S. specifically. Like the U.S. has given Venezuela a lot of sanctions.
Right.
Because the government that we have it doesn't work. It's not good.
Right. Sure.
So yeah, the music industry is not in its best moment right now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's interesting. I just was curious if are there any Venezuelan bands that you're into? Any at all?
There's one, but I have only listened to like 5 songs from them.
Okay. And they're okay.
So that gives you an idea. I think I'm like the worst guest to talk about music from her country. Like the really worst one.
No, it's totally fine. But, it's no big deal.
But I'm gonna make a playlist with Venezuelan music that I don't like, and I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna be like, this is why I don't like the band. The band I was talking about.
I would appreciate that because it would educate me as to what I'm missing out on.
You're gonna hate it.
Okay.
The band that I was talking about is called Caramelos de Cianuro, which is a Venezuelan band. They have a few songs that I like. It's kind of rock. It's rock music, quite happy, happy sounding rock music. That's it. That's pretty much the only one that I like.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. By all means, send me stuff that you hate, so that I can also hate it, and we can bond.
I'm gonna send you stuff that's gonna make you cringe, and you're gonna be like, no.
Please
Why?
do. I have a secret fetish for just like enjoying enjoying like really terrible things. So
Oh my god, me too.
yeah, by all means. Like the fucking worse it makes me want to die when I see it, the better. So
You're like, yeah,
yeah,
this is
it's
my
like
stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Great.
All right. Well, well, I don't want to keep you too long, so I will get to the last question, which is, what is something that you've been enjoying recently? Your answer can be anything, just movie, TV show, series, book, whatever. Just something that you're jazzed about when you wake up.
Oh my god. I have been watching a lot of series lately. I watched. The thing is, oh my god, backstory. I used to live in the middle of the jungle until last year. I used to live like literally in the middle of the jungle without internet connection, without anything. It was a really weird time. I lived there for like a year and a half, something like that. And so I couldn't watch a lot of series when I was there.
Sure.
I moved back to the city recently this year. And I have been watching more, and I watched Arcane. I'm watching this TV show called You, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm familiar. It's on Netflix, right? The Netflix show?
I think so. Yes. I'm also watching. Oh, well, I watched The Boys. And right now I'm going to go watch Gen V because I need to watch that before The Boys, the new season comes out. So I'm going to go watch that after this. What else? I just really like those kind of like bizarre shows.
Sure.
It's a mixture between a little bit of horror and comedy and just weird stuff.
Yes.
That somehow looks amazing. And it's probably a little bit it's not like family friendly, but it's fine.
Yeah, The Boys gets a little insane. Like it's I really like that show as well, but it is it does get off the fucking rails. Pretty fucking fast. I've seen things in it that I was not expecting to see. But that's what makes it fun. So yeah, no, that's a very good answer. I have not watched Gen V, so apparently that's the thing I'm gonna have to check out too. I did know it was a spinoff. I was aware of it. I just haven't like sat down to give it any time or anything.
Yeah, the thing is, I believe I have friends who have said that the shows are gonna be connected. So like Gen V is going to be connected with the new season of The Boys. That's why I said that I should probably watch it before watching The Boys because they're going to be connected somehow. And I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's as good as The Boys. I'm not sure, but hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good answer. That sounds cool. Any new music in particular that has just like really got its hooks into you or anything?
Oh my God. Any new music? Oh boy. The issue is that I have been listening to the same songs. Ever since I moved to the city, I've been listening to the same 5 songs. I think I posted my YouTube music rap. I don't use Spotify because I don't like it. I use YouTube music. And it was all Bad Omens. It was Bad Omens from start to finish. And I was like, oh my God, no. So and give me a second. I'm going to try to look for something.
No problem. Go ahead.
I cannot believe that I don't have an answer for that. I know that there has to be something that is somewhat new. Well, there is. Technically, there is. So there's this artist called Kim Dracula. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yes. I just recently, one of my other guests was like, have you heard Kim Dracula? And I was like, no. But I have heard of it now.
Yes. So he is actually really good. I know he probably gets a lot of, I don't know if hates or just people being judgmental about him coming from TikTok and stuff like that, which I think is stupid. But he's actually really good. And he is also really bizarre. And in my head, he's like the Joker of metal, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Because I saw a music video and I was like, this is crazy. This is insane. This is like, it really is doing whatever it wants. So yeah, no, that makes sense.
And the way he mixes like different styles of music, the way he sings, like his vocal range is just so good and so interesting to listen to if you are, I feel, like somebody who's open-minded. And it's not expecting something very specific, you know, because there's people who like to think about music and music genres as like, oh, it has to sound like this. And if it doesn't sound like this, it's not good. No, he is mixing a lot of weird stuff together and I like it.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about him and his album is really good. If you have the chance to listen to it from start to finish, I would recommend you to do it because it's an experience.
Okay.
It is an experience.
All right, I'm into it. I will check it out. The one music video I saw, I was very like, this is bizarre. This is very strange. Very fresh, very different, for sure. And I've never been one of those people. Well, that's not true. There was once upon a time that I was like too fucking cool to like, oh, I can't listen to this. I'm Mr. Hard Industrial. Like, I have definitely moved on from that. And like, I can appreciate any kind of style of music. So, I am pretty open-minded about that. Most people should be, like you're missing out on like really good shit when you're not open-minded to it. That's a good answer. So just to answer the question myself, something I've been enjoying recently. What is something?
It's a weird question because at the beginning you're like, I know what I like, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm always like suddenly stumped of like, even before I like start the interview, I'll be like, oh, you know what I'm really like grateful for? This thing. And then the time comes to like tell somebody and I'm like,
You have to write it down and keep it like next to the computer.
I think that's what I'm going to have to start doing. That would be the professional thing to do, maybe. Okay, something I've been enjoying recently, the Black Void Movie Club that I've been doing with Morris Black has been a blast. It's been worth like the work to like watch the movies and like get together and have conversations about movies. I feel like more people should do it. Like, join a book club or join a movie club or whatever, like with your friends and watch movies or watch music videos or share songs. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a lot to be gained from sharing things you like with people that you like. That's what friendship is, right? Is like, hey, I love this thing. Maybe you will too. Let's experience it together, kind of a thing, and talk about it. I feel like it'll help you grow a lot closer to people that you want to, if you do that, if you put that effort in. So yeah, that's that. And as far as music, the new Health record just came out. I've been loving that, but I've had that for a couple months now, not to like, brag or anything, but like it's, I haven't been een able to talk to anybody about it. So it's nice to be able to talk to people about it and discuss how good it is and everything. But aside from that, I've been listening to Nuda. She is an industrial artist from, I think she's in like Seattle or Portland or something. I saw her at Mechanismus Festival last year and she just was amazing. I'm glad I caught it. She's making really interesting, different industrial music, really fresh. Highly recommend it.
Well, if you could send me the name,
yeah, sure.
That would be amazing so I can check her out. And about health, it's funny because I have been following health on Instagram for I think over a year. Yeah. And I have only listened to a few songs, including the ones that you sent me on the playlist.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, it's taking a while for me to get into health. And I'm like, I think it's just because, I don't know, I don't have good recommendations. So I think you're going to be the person who's going to recommend me some health songs.
Gotcha. Yeah, this new record is previous. I'm a fan of like all their stuff, but I think this new record is like really pretty pretty pinnacle. Like it's pretty like wall to wall, really good. But yeah, I will send you a link to Nuda, and we'll exchange some more playlists and stuff. Exchange some more music. You can send me some some shit I'll hate, and I'll send you some terrible stuff that you'll hate too.
No,
Yeah.
no, you have to send me good songs.
No, you're getting at least one shitty ass song, just to
Okay.
just so we're nice and even. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, for coming on the show and having a chat with me and everything. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so much. I will, let you know when this goes up. And yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for sure. Void Signal intro and outro music courtesy Processor. Visit processor2.bandcamp.com for more Processor, and visit voidsignal.net to help support the creation of more Void Signal. Thank you.